She used him, like I used him. She let the affair happen because it gave her freedom. And when she was done with her lover, she turned her gaze back on me. I know what you're thinking. She's a home wrecker. She deserves what she got. Maybe you're right. But I need you to understand, it didn't start that way. I didn't wake up one morning and decide to ruin marriages. I was just drawn to broken men who wore wedding bands like armor. Men who said their wives didn't see them anymore. Men who, behind closed doors, whispered, "You make me feel alive again." I used to think that made me special. There's a strange kind of thrill in being the secret. The stolen kiss, the unanswered call, the perfume they wash off before going home. You feel like a fantasy. Powerful, wanted, until the fantasy collapses. And you're the one left behind in the shadows. I was 26 and had already fallen in love 3 times. Every single one of them was married. I used to joke with my friends that husbands were easier. No expectations, no strings, just attention when you wanted it, and silence when you didn't. But the truth? I chased unavailable men because I didn't believe I was worth being someone's first choice. I didn't know how to be loved in the daylight. I only knew how to seduce in the dark. My father left when I was 17. Not for another woman. For his freedom, he said. He told me love was suffocating, that it turns people into strangers. I guess part of me believed him. So I started making a home inside the hearts of men who already belonged to someone else. And then I met Damon Carrington, my boss. Charming, older, married. And I told myself, just one more. Just this one. And then I'll stop. But I didn't know that this time, the wife was watching. It was my first day at Ardent Systems, this shiny, multi-million-dollar tech company that felt worlds away from the small town I'd escaped. I wore my best Hire Me Forever blazer and heels that screamed confidence louder than I felt. I was ready to prove myself. Or at least, pretend I was someone worth proving. The executive floor smelled like eucalyptus and ambition. Everyone walked fast, talked soft, and smiled without showing teeth. That's when I saw him. Damon Carrington. Founder. CEO. The kind of man who doesn't need to say he's powerful, the room already knows. His smile was subtle, like he knew things about you that you didn't. And when he walked toward me, I swear the air changed. You must be Lila. Marketing assistant, right? You came highly recommended. Let's make sure they were right. He looked me in the eye when he said that. Not in the polite corporate way, but like he was measuring me. Not my resume. Me. And I liked it. By noon, I already knew too much about him. Married. 2 kids. But I also knew he kept his wedding ring in his desk drawer more than on his finger. And I noticed the way his eyes scanned the room before talking to women. He was married, yes, but he was also open. Men like Damon don't cheat because they're desperate. They cheat because they know they can. Burning the midnight oil already? Overachiever. He leans in slightly, his voice smooth, casual. That's dangerous here. Some of us take notice, says Damon. It was barely day 1, but I felt like the game had already started. And I wasn't sure who was playing who. But one thing I knew for sure. I was going to win him. It was supposed to be a late night at work. Just me and a deadline. But then, he stayed. Don't tell me you're trying to outwork me on your 2nd week. He raises an eyebrow. Playful but deliberate. That's dangerous territory. Everything with Damon felt like that. Dangerous territory dressed up like compliments in conference calls. Damon, more serious. You're smart. I've worked with people twice your age who can't read a room like you do. You remind me of someone I used to be close to. He never touched me. Not then. But that night, when I went home, I dreamed of him. And in the morning, I wore lipstick, like war paint. It was our 3rd off-site event. I wore a red dress that clung like a secret. He didn't stop looking at me all night. No one else noticed, but I did. I noticed everything. Damon quietly. You shouldn't stand in the rain like that. People will talk, I whisper, saying, let them. And just like that, the world split in two. Before him, after him. I told myself it was a one-time mistake. But I already knew I'd never stop. We became fire and gasoline. He made me feel like I mattered, like I was irreplaceable. And I told myself, maybe his marriage was dead. Maybe I was his way out. Maybe this time, I wasn't just the other woman. Maybe I was the woman. But the thing about stolen moments is they always come with a cost. And soon, I'd find out who'd really be paying. I thought it was from Damon. He did things like that. Little luxuries. A bracelet here. A bottle of perfume there. Trinkets to keep me quiet. But something about this felt wrong. I'd imagined this moment 100 times. Her screaming, crying, throwing things. But this was colder than ice. This was a woman who had planned something. She told me where to meet her. No lawyers, no Damon, just us. I thought I'd be facing a broken woman. But I walked into a room with a queen on her throne. Celeste, cool, graceful. Lila, you're prettier than I expected. Younger, too. Sith. She didn't yell, didn't throw a drink in my face. She just looked at me. Like I was a child playing dress-up in her world. Celeste. You know, my husband has a type. Lonely eyes, soft voice, girls with good instincts and bad fathers. You weren't the first, but you're the first I watched up close. I hired the PI the day after he looked at you. You wore red lipstick on your first day. Smart. But not smarter than me. It wasn't fear that hit me first. It was shame. Because I realized she'd seen everything, the games, the looks, the lies, and still, she waited. Why? Celeste, smiling slightly. Here's the part you'll like. Damon never chose you. I let him sleep with you, because I was sleeping with someone else. A man whose wife also thought she had it all figured out. She used him, like I used him. She let the affair happen, because it gave her freedom. And when she was done with her lover, she turned her gaze back on me. Celeste, soft, venomous. You wanted to take something from me, Lila. But all you did was show me how disposable he really is. So I'm keeping him. And you get nothing. No job, no references. You'll be known in this industry as the girl who seduced her married boss and lost everything. Celeste, smiling, cruelly kind. You want a moral? Here it is. Don't aim for queens if you're not ready to be crushed by the crown. And just like that, the fantasy was over. I wasn't the villain. I wasn't the victim. I was just the lesson. I thought maybe, if I acted normal, it would all go away. Maybe Damon would fight for me. Maybe we could pretend it never happened. But when I reached my floor, my keycard didn't work. No explanation. No severance. Just silence. Like I never existed. Recruiter, casual. So I do need to ask. There was a reference check. Your name came up with a situation at Ardent? The industry talks. And apparently, so did she. I was blacklisted without a word. No one hires the girl who sleeps with the CEO and gets caught. I was addicted to the illusion of being wanted, of being loved just enough. But when it ended, I didn't just lose him. I lost me. Voicemail. Damon's voice. Lila, I can't talk anymore. Celeste, she's keeping the kids, the company, everything. This was a mistake. I'm sorry. Please don't call me. He chose his wife. She chose war. And I was the wreckage. 6 months later, I live in a smaller apartment. I make less money. I stopped wearing red lipstick. But for the first time, I'm not pretending. I'm not chasing anyone's husband. I'm just healing. Some people learn by loving. Others learn by losing. I had to burn everything down to finally see who I was beneath the ashes. If you had told me a year ago that I'd be this girl, the one who slept with her boss, got fired, got exposed, and thrown out like a broken ornament, I would have laughed. Because I thought I was in control. I thought they were the fools. But when you live your life chasing people who are already taken, what you're really doing is avoiding the one thing that scares you most. Being loved for real. I don't chase married men because I love breaking hearts. I chase them because I thought love only came in pieces. I thought if I had to fight for it, it must be worth having. But that's not love. That's hunger wearing perfume. Damon never loved me. Celeste never really hated me. And I didn't ruin their marriage. I just got caught in the middle of one already crumbling. Now I work at a place where no one knows what I did. No one expects me to wear heels or smile like a promise. I'm learning how to be alone, without being empty. If you're watching this and you're the other woman right now, I'm not going to shame you. But I will say this. If he's not willing to leave for you, you're not in love. You're in a lie so beautiful, it feels like truth. And if you keep chasing people who belong to someone else, you'll never find out what it feels like to belong to yourself. I wanted to be loved. I became a lesson instead. And somehow, that saved me. Share this with someone who's ever felt like a secret. Subscribe for more real stories.